Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Happy Vlogmas. Today is day 22. Every time I say that, I'm like, wow, I've been doing this thing every day since the beginning of December. Um, we may get interrupted. We may have to end this stream early. I had a delivery that was supposed, I said expressly, has to be before 1 p.m. my time here in Mexico City. They said, yes, 12:30. At 12:30, I got a text to tell me my delivery was on the way. I don't know where they're coming from. They could be here in 5 minutes. They could be here in 2 hours. Who knows? But we're going to go ahead and do what we came to do. So, hey, everybody, lots of folks in the comments. I don't know if y'all saw, we got to 20,000 subscribers. I'm sure in big part to the video and the article that CNBC Make It did featuring me. If you're somebody who found your way here because of that, welcome to the Picky Girl Nation. We're glad you're here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know about that, but take it. I'll take it. Today is day 22 of Vlogmas. I have been coming on YouTube live every day at 2 p.m. Eastern to hang out, to chat, to talk. My name is Adelia Aborashade. I forgot who I was for a second. And this is my YouTube channel. Here we talk about my my life living outside the US. I call Mexico City home. We also talk about travel, which I try to do often, and we talk about money. Because in order to like shake things up in your life and go out and do things differently and live life on your terms, you got to have some money. And so those are all things we talk about on this channel. If that is of interest to you, please subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, you know the next time I go live, the next time I upload a video, all of that good stuff. And as y'all saw from the thumbnail and today's title, we're talking about to Mexico. When we started Vlogmas, we talked about moving abroad, then we talked about money, and then we talked about travel. We wrapped up travel yesterday, where I shared kind of my reflections about the travel I did this year, my plans for travel next year. And so now I guess the only thing left for us to talk about is my life here in Mexico City, which I don't know if there's much more I can say, but we're going to do this anyway. And so I thought we would start things off very positively. For those of you that read the thing in CNBC, they had an article, but there's also an accompanying video. Or if you read the video, you know that I speak very highly of my life here in Mexico City. I do not hesitate when people say, well, like, what's your, you've been to 50 countries, you've been all these places. What is your favorite place? It is Mexico City. I'm very fortunate to be able to live in my most favorite place in the world. Now, Mexico City is not for everybody. I thought I heard what sounds like a motorcycle, which could be a delivery. We'll see if my phone goes off. Mexico City is not for everybody. I love it. And I may see it as a very positive and great place. And there are people who come here and they're like, hell no, I'll never go back there again. I hate that place. So just know that just because I love it, you may not love it. Somebody recently in a group chat I'm in was talking about like how everybody can't make it in Mexico City and referred to the city as savage. And while I wholeheartedly disagree with that assessment, I will say that there are some people who this place is just a bad fit for. But for me, um, there are lots of upsides, far more upsides than downsides to living in Mexico, but specifically for me, Mexico City. Um, Probably number 1 on that list is that I do not need a car to live here. I am from Houston, Texas, one of the most car-centric places, I think, probably in the world. And I knew when I was leaving the United States, that was one of the things I wanted to leave behind. I did not want to have to deal with what was to me the headache of owning a car, worrying about where to park it and all of that. And this is the kind of city that is not built around cars. Houston, where I am from, where there are no zoning laws, everything is designed around a car, not around people and people who walk. That is not the case here. And so that is, to me, probably the number one best thing about being here. I can get because Mexico City is roughly the same size geographically as Houston. I can get to the far reaches of this city without owning a car. Now, it might take me a couple hours, but I can get there. Um, so I do love that. If y'all follow me on IG, I am often sharing pictures uh, of me on the metro, on the trolley bus, on the metro bus, on various city buses, or just walking down the street. Okay. That is not the phone call I was expecting. Sorry. Sorry about that, y'all. That was Walgreens. I don't know why they're calling me. Okay. So I love that I don't need a car here. I love the weather the majority of the time. This is one of those things that climate change is changing things. Because I used to live here in 2017 when the weather was more the typical weather here. Um, if you were watching videos earlier this week, I had on a tank top. It doesn't typically get super cold here. It doesn't typically get super hot. There is virtually no humidity. I do not miss the heat. I do not miss the humidity. Although climate change has made we've dealt with spells of hot weather, and because this is a place that is very temperate because of the elevation, we do not have air conditioning. We do not have central heat. So when it does get above 80 degrees Fahrenheit for us here in the city, that is a heat wave. And everybody is like, oh my God, what are we doing? The weather that we traditionally have here, I love because I have told y'all more than one time I am so over heat and humidity. I did my time. I don't want to do that anymore. Um, and then of course, the food, particularly street food. And I didn't think street food was so high up on my list. But when I was in Argentina, when I was in Buenos Aires, that was one of the things that struck me because I don't like to wait. There are, like there are those days when, hey, let's go try out this new restaurant. And eating a meal here is usually a couple of hours, like lunch. As somebody who was a public school teacher and generally had 25 minutes for lunch, I have adapted to that very well here. Like if we're going to go to lunch, that's at least a 2-hour event. And I'm okay with that. But when I want something quick and fast and easy, I want it. And that's something I noticed in Buenos Aires is that there was virtually no street food. If you could go for a meal, and that was going to be a 5-6 hour event, which I was not in the mood for. But like, hey, let me get some tacos there, or a tlayuda or something like that on the street. They didn't have something like that, and I was like, I really do enjoy, like, because y'all know I don't want to cook, being able to go downstairs, walk a couple blocks, and somebody is selling something to eat. So that is absolutely, I think, one of the best things about living here. And you know, the fact that for a lot of people, this might be a horrible thing about here. A lot this The Mexico City airport, Benito Juarez, for a lot of people makes their worst airport list. And I will say that it is not the best airport, it's particularly if you do not speak Spanish. And if you are afraid to ask people where you need to go because you thought there were going to be signs, Benito Juarez is not the greatest. However, I really do enjoy being able to, like, the airport is about 20 minutes from my house. Even like I've never had it take more than 30 minutes to get to the airport. You can get there super easy via mass transit, via car, and I can pretty much fly everywhere in the world from here, from this city. I can't always fly direct, which is my preference, but I can fly direct. And so I do enjoy that. Okay. Uh, that is my order. The last thing on my list, excuse me, y'all, while I tell these people where I'm at. Trying to talk to y'all and type in Spanish is not easy to do. But the last thing on my list is the people of Mexico City. Uh, Edificio. I can't talk to y'all in English and type in Spanish. Frente. Sorry, y'all. Pyramidas. Okay. Um, they want an apartment number, and I don't. My keyboard. Okay. So the last thing on my list is um, that the people of Mexico City. No, Jazzy G, I am not fluent in Spanish. Uh, I guess we can say I speak Spanish, but not very well. So I make it work. The fact that this is a text and not a phone call is better for me. But the last thing on my list is that the people of Mexico City, Chilangos, uh, they it's very hard for me to put into words because I think a lot of us from the United States have some pre uh sorry y'all. Should never multitasking uh is not a thing. Okay. All right. So, uh I think a lot of us, is particularly folks coming from the United States, um okay, I gotta wrap this up. They're here. A lot of us from the United States have these preconceived ideas about what people in Mexico are like because of our experience with Mexican Americans. And those are different people, just like Black Americans and Black Africans are not the same folks. The people here are kind, they are generous, and they have kind of like this indomitable spirit. Like, things can be really bad, but they gonna find a way to find a bright side and maybe throw a party afterward. And that vibe, that love of life, that kind of thing, I absolutely love that. All right, y'all. I gotta go give my order. I will be back here tomorrow at 2 p.m. and we will talk about what are the worst things about being in Mexico City. Bye, guys. Thank you.